you were hard on people around you.
I was. I really was. They were so just. I know their hearts were in the right place. They wanted to help, and I just like kept pushing people in. Like, I got this.
Yeah.
It was. I feel badly about it now, but but at the time, I had my eyes on the prize. I was not concerned. Well, I was concerned about my health. I'm just like, okay, what can I accomplish today to get me to the trials in 6 months? What can I do today? What's my best effort today? And it was me. It was what can I do? I wasn't interested in other people's help, because I knew this was that was something I needed to do. And and I fear that I probably hurt some feelings because people wanted to be there for me, and I got it. I got this. Me.
Right.
But I did what I wanted to do, and so I made it to the trial. So,
but there comes that mentality, and everybody deals with it differently. I know. So that mentality of, I'm going to do this because if I don't, I'm not going to like myself very much, and I'm going to be worse on people. I find out with me, if I'm not doing something I love, I'm a very, very grumpy person, which is normally all the time. But anyway.
Oh, no. But I guess if I don't feel like I gave myself the full opportunity to do whatever I could do, then I kind of wasted it. I don't want to waste anything.
Yeah, do what you can do in that moment.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what do you enjoy doing more, coaching or competing, or is it kind of a mix of both?
Oh, it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
I'm really fortunate that I can still do both right now.
Right.
I'm competing and coaching. I actually have a couple high school kids I'm going to work with this afternoon.
Okay.
That one's brand new, and one I've worked with her for about a year now. And still, every time there's this little spark, this little light bulb that goes off with the practice, and that just makes me so excited.
Yeah.
that they're getting it, that they're seeing success, and that it's a good feeling to have as the coach, because you feel like you're making a difference, and getting them in a position where they can succeed. But then I'm probably going to throw afterwards.
Yeah, there you go.
Practice as well. Again, 60 degrees in South Carolina here in February.
Yeah,
but
take advantage of it. Yeah.
And just the athlete in me drives me to be a better coach, and the coach in me drives me to be a better athlete, because I know there's things that I don't do that I should.
Right.
I know when I look at film, I'm hypercritical of what I've been doing, and I gotta get that right foot down a little bit sooner. I gotta do whatever. But so I think having the best of both worlds, and then the harder ends of both worlds, as far as being hard on myself too, makes me a better coach, makes me a better athlete. So I like having both of them.
Well, and that's cool. And the fact that I think you're talking about watching your videos, you're an athlete, but you are also a coach to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got to break down all that material and figure out why your speed wasn't where it needed to be, or
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I did want to, it kind of came to mind just now, is that how many competitions do you plan on doing this year?
I'll probably keep about 10 to 12.
Okay. Now, do you think that Highland Games is a sport similar to powerlifting in terms of a peaking cycle? Are there certain times of years that athletes in Highland can peak?
Well, that's a tough one, because everybody wants to.
They want to peak at the right time.
The World Championships,
right,
the Nationals, whatever's going to be offered that year, and those typically. For a while there, the Women's Worlds was in February and March in Phoenix.
Okay.
And so that was really super tough to plan for.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
But then it moved around, and I'm not sure if it's going to move around anymore. But now it's in Oklahoma in September. So it's much later in the year. So you could kind of plan for that and kind of peak for that. So to be honest, I will continue to just work on my strength this year.
Uh-huh.
And so there'll be a number of games early on that I'm just going to be happy to throw. I'm going to be sore. Maybe I'm not going to throw that far, but the goal is to be strong enough to make it through the entire season.
Yeah.
And still be healthy by September, October,
Right.
So that's kind of my goal. Peaking, I don't know if it's peaking.
Right.
I'm just trying to build up my endurance throughout the year so I can make it,
So you can be there at the right time.
You'll see a lot of athletes that are just, hammering it through, early parts of the season, getting some big marks, and then, by July and August, they're just kind of petering out because they're competing almost every weekend because that's when they're popular, and they're getting the chance to get out there and get the good competition and go up against the big throwers, but they might be burning themselves out a bit.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm just hoping to make it through.
Yeah, and that's one thing I look at with the please don't let me die. It's one thing I look at with the Arnold Classic, with them moving that indoors, because now it's not subject to being canceled because of weather.
Oh yeah.
Or things like that. But it even something like that indoors, because the equipment's different. That's a different beast altogether.
Oh, for sure. So I really consider that to be almost completely different, because it's not. It's just like comparing an indoor and outdoor track and field. Indoor and outdoor, if you're a runner, the track is usually shorter. I mean, there's the rare occasion you have a 40-meter track indoors, but it's still just a different animal. So I mean, I loved throwing the Arnold the first year we were actually outside for that one. And it was just cool to be there. That's how I looked at it. I wasn't really planning on throwing very far,
right?
But it was just cool to be there. I hope maybe 1 year I'll make it to do the indoors. Usually Army Trials falls around the same time, so I haven't been able to go. But it's fun to see the results and the videos of everybody throwing indoors. Because it's just switching up the weights this year. It looks like Steve Bartholomew is making some tungsten weights for them, and it looks really cool. Yeah. So it could be interesting what the numbers pull this year.
Yeah. It's been thrown into the crowd.
Oh gosh.
So, well, and it's like us. I mean, we don't travel we don't travel outside the U.S. Haven't. We want to. We got invited to go to Norway this summer for what they call their FIFA Strength Week or something.
Go.
Yeah, I know. That's what we're contemplating. It's like, well, do we take our normal family vacation, or do we just say screw it and head out to Norway to visit?
That should be the normal family vacation.
Oh, I agree, but my problem is this: I know that Becky really wants to visit Nova Scotia, and we both really want to visit Ireland and Scotland. And I'm sitting here looking at the logical path of travel, going, okay, we fly up there, we fly over Iceland, so that requires a stop. And next thing you know, I'm gone for 6 months.
But I went from Australia to Fiji to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, and I stopped at, I think, Samoa as well, because we had a layover. So I was in Samoa for a couple hours.
So that's what she's laughed. She goes, no, we just go to Norway. I'm like, but we fly over these great places. Why can't we just not stop?
Well, that's probably one thing you want to spend a couple of days at your stops, though.
Yeah, and that's true. So, and then they do this strength week out there, which you've got strongman, you've got Highland, you've got all kinds of stuff that they do with all these seminars, and I really want to venture out there and see it once, because it just seems like a lot of fun being around a lot of my favorite people. So.
Well, I think that your decision's already made. You're welcome.
Yeah, hear that, Becky. I need you to listen to this, okay? Listen to the sound of my voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Experience the world. It's pretty cool.
Well, with that, I don't really have any other things that I want to question you or grill you about. There is one more thing.
There's one more thing.
Tell us about your fun that you had on, was it Ninja Warrior?
It was the Spartan Ultimate Team Challenge.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, the Spartan race.
How was that different than a Ninja Warrior?
It was a lot of fun. I remember I was in an airplane flying back from Washington State to South Carolina, and I got a message from Dan McKim. Hey, okay. Adriane, I was wondering if you can give me a shout. I have something I want to ask you. I'm like, oh gosh. And so I immediately called, like, hey, Dan, what's going on? He's like, yeah, I occasionally get these, inquiries through Facebook, Instagram, whatever, about, being parts of shows, and there's producers, they want to do this thing, and I usually respond, nicely back, and usually nothing turns up. But turns out there's this producer from NBC who is looking to fill some teams for this Spartan show. I'm like, Spartan? Like Spartan race? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. He's like, this is the team format, and they want to do one with 2 guys and 2 girls that are Highland game throwers. I'm like, wow, that's cool. He's like, do you want to do it? I'm like, Dan, I've never done a Spartan race before. He's like, that's okay. Neither have I. Dan, I don't run.
Yeah.
He said, that's okay. I'm 300 pounds. I'm like, I'm in. All right. Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do this. It's a good idea.
We just had to do an application process and do a couple videos and send them some of our throwing stuff. And sure enough, we were chosen. So it was me and Dan McKim, Katie Crowley, and then Nate Burchett. And the 4 of us were also assigned a Spartan, a professional Spartan, to kind of
they have professional
lead up our team,
Spartans.
because
Wow.
we're all like clueless. None of us have done anything like this before.
Wow, yeah.
And we were actually paired up with a Spartan racer, and turns out he dropped out. And either because he found out who his team was and said, no way, I'm not going to do this with these guys, or something else came up. But then they assigned us up with another guy named Joe, and Joe Casilia. He's hilarious. He was he fit in right with us. He was from Pennsylvania, Bethlehem area, so he had been to Celtic Classic, so he knew what the Highland Games were. And we're like, Joe, you're perfect. This is awesome. And it just was a blast. We all got along so well. So we went to Atlanta, and I don't want to, spoiler alert, actually the entire series, the whole season 2 was filmed over 3 days.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
to actually see the ins and outs of how a TV program like that is filmed is really cool and created.
Right.
So we got to this really super fancy hotel in Atlanta. We all had our own rooms, and you had to go check in with wardrobe and get your outfits and, fill out more paperwork. And they had just a schedule set up for us. And so we met as a team and met Joe, and he was a super nice guy. And so we started doing all of our team stuff. We had to do some B-roll filming at a local CrossFit gym. I brought some of the implements with us, and Sport Kilt was kind enough to sponsor us with a couple kilts, so we were matching. It was pretty neat. Cool. We definitely looked the fanciest. And so we're doing this B-roll filming, and all these people are like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. You guys do this? So we're doing like some sheep toss and weight over bar and some stone tossing. And it's so cool how people respond to the Highland Games. They're just like, you toss trees. yes, we do. And here, hold on to this weight. Whoa, that's really heavy. So it was just a really cool experience. Even just the crew and the producers, showing what we do. Because all the other teams are like, there's a team that were all professional dancers, and man, they could move. They did all their stuff indoors. There's another group of pole vaulters who were climbing the ropes like nothing, and just doing all these acrobatic things.
Yeah.
It was really neat. But that was such a cool experience, just to meet some really neat people and talk to Spartan racers and how they train, and just really, that's a grueling sport. Oh,
I tell you,
I mean, the running aspect for one, but I mean, all the other stuff that they do is
I've done two. I've done 2 Spartan races in my life, and I will never do another
congratulations.
one. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I pat myself on the back because I didn't die.
Yay!
But one of them, I just did the sprints. I was actually a distance runner in high school and college. So, I know how to run. Even overweight, I can still run. I can still move fast, just not very long. But the last one I did, now we're going back probably 4 years now, and they said that it was just over 3.1 miles. Well, it turned out it was 5 miles. So that's just over.
Liars.
Yeah, well, it rained, and we were in a very, very late heat when we ran. So we were running in 3 to 4 inches of mud constantly. I got to one event, and I'm not a person of heights. I hate heights, and when you combine it with wood planking and mud and a 30-foot wall, sorry, my butt's not doing it. And
certain death.
Yeah. And I started to bypass the obstacle, and the guy running that obstacle, he's like, well, you have to do the obstacle or you have to take your burpees. And I said, I tell you what, I'm not doing either one because I hate burpees. And he goes, well, then that's not very sportsmanlike. You need to do one or the other. And I said, listen, I paid $70 to do this damn event.